Exclusive: Abba Kyari escapes murder in prison, considered for SSS custody. Prison officials are considering moving suspended police officer Abba Kyari to the custody of the State Security Service (SSS) from the Keju prison after he nearly got murdered by aggrieved inmates who accused him of insincerity in bribe for release details when he was in active service. According to internal documents and officials accessed by Premium Times, the attack happened on May 4th, months after Mr. Kyari, who is on trial for drug-related offenses, was remanded. His attackers were about 190, an official said, and they are mostly in prison for drug offenses. Mr. Kyari, 47, a deputy commissioner of police, was the decorated cop and head of the elite intelligence response team of the Inspector General of Police before his fall. First, he was suspended from police duties after being named last July by American investigators as an accomplice in the international fraud and money laundering scheme of Ramon Abbas, popularly called Hush Puppy. Then, while on suspension and awaiting the internal probe, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) in February accused him of involvement in a drug trafficking conspiracy. The agency released a video in which Mr. Kyari appeared to be describing his use of his team to push drugs and discussing sharing of a criminal fortune. He was charged to court in March and remanded in Keju prison. The Keju attackers claimed Mr. Kyari prosecuted them despite taking bribes from them, our sources said. One of the sources, a state investigator and intelligence officer, described Mr. Kyari as a dodgy criminal. Mr. Kyari has not been convicted of any crime and has said he is innocent of the allegations for which he has been charged. Quoting the inmates, our source said Mr. Kyari was eliminating smaller drug dealers to clear the field for Afam Ukuta, a suspected billionaire drug baron allegedly behind $3 million tramadol deal linked to Mr. Kyari. Inmates claim that upon arrest, Abba Kyari demanded bribes to kill the case, then still prosecuted them. A Keju prison source who assessed the testimonies of the aggrieved inmates said. The spokesperson for the Nigerian Corrections Service, Francis Enobore, denied the attack on Mr. Kyari, but Premium Times confirmed the attack from officials with direct knowledge of it and the service's internal documents. According to our sources, Mr. Kyari was rescued by officials and has since been kept in an isolated cell under heavy protection where no one sees him for fear of attack or poisoning. To buy his safety, Mr. Kyari had to pay each of the aggrieved inmates 200,000 naira in initial settlement fees and then procure DSTV subscription for cells to buy loyalty and peace, one source said. However, Mr. Enobore, who speaks for the Correctional Service, said, "I'm not aware Abba Kyari paid anybody to secure his safety in prison." Mr. Kyari is alleged to have amassed wealth far in excess of his fair earnings by inverting his role as a law enforcement officer and involving in illicit activities. In April, NDLEA said they marked properties in Borno, Kano, Lagos, and Abuja linked to the disgraced officer. Despite the settlement, the aggrieved inmates have continued to threaten Mr. Kyari's life, as sources said. Regardless of the level of protection, they vowed to get him, a source said. The inmates has given him an ultimatum to return all he extorted from them or be killed. Relevant officials have assessed that he will be killed or badly injured if he continues to be remanded in Keju. An official recommendation has therefore been made that Mr. Kyari should be transferred out of Keju to an SSS facility, Premium Times can report. The SSS spokesperson, Peter Afunaya, did not answer calls, nor did he reply to a text requesting his comment on this report. Meanwhile, prison sources describe Mr. Kyari's life in Keju. So far, He has every relevant officer on his payroll. They do his bidding. He sees his wife and he has access to mobile devices and marabots, one source said. Interesting. Some persons they can perceive a foul play here. So basically, it's been said that Abba Kyari's life is under threat as he just escaped murder in prison, and that inmates are accusing him of collecting bribes from them, and at the end of the day, they still went to, they still landed in jail. Right now, he's being considered for SSS custody. But Nigerians are looking at this as a game plan, that it's possible that they are just bringing up all of this. Abba Kyari sought bail a couple of times, but the court turned it down. He gave reasons that his life is this, that they should grant him bail, but he was not given bail. But he's been in KG prison. We know how the whole thing happened. He's in jail for the allegations by NDLE against him, not Abba's one. The Abbas one is not even the country that is handling it. It's the US, because Hush Puppy is in America, and they were requesting for his extradition, but Buhari's government, they've been playing around with this, going back and forth, giving all sorts of explanations that extradition does not just happen like that, that there are procedures. We know there are procedures, but because it's someone from the north, they can cover up all of that. If it's somebody else, when it was Kanu's turn, Kanu did not even, he didn't steal. When it was Kanu's turn, they didn't go through due process. It was the same Malami who was rejoicing as though Kanu was the problem of the country. Malami was rejoicing that Nnamdi Kanu has been brought back to the country. Anyway, Nigerians are reacting that this looks fishy, very, very fishy. Someone has said that this is a ploy by the authorities to move him to where he will live in an air-conditioned apartment instead of as a prisoner. Every inmate must face attack from time to time. He's a criminal, and a worse criminal at that. No attempt should be made under any guise to give him preference. Well, we know that the case is still on. He's not been sentenced. He's not been the case has not been concluded. He's still awaiting. The process is still on. But Nigerians are saying that he should not be given any form of preference. That these sort of things, they tend to happen in the prison from time to time. They face attacks, so he should not be an exception. At the moment, they said he's been taken to a solidarity cell where he's on his own. But the prison officials, they are still denying that nothing of such is happening, nothing of such has happened. But Premium Times can confirm. They confirm the attack, that the attack really happened from officials with direct knowledge of it, and the service internal document as well. We'll see how all of this plays out. Leave us a take, guys. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again on more updates. Bye.